Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So we talk about leadership on this channel a good bit because that's what I've chosen as my desired profession. That's what I do for a living. I provide leadership for teams and for companies that hire me as a consultant, but for teams and teammates that are acting as my subordinates, there's certain things that come to the forefront as what drives success and what actually destroys the team and destroys the security of the workplace. So I'm going to go through 7 of the things that you should be doing versus 7 of the things that you should not, and give a little bit of context around what those damaging things do. So number 1 is this: good leaders share as much information as you can. Now, there's always going to be stuff limited that is pertinent to strategy and things of that nature, but you want to share as much information as you can with your team so they can understand 2 things. 1, what the overall goal for the company is, and 2, how the work that they do impacts that goal, okay? Poor leaders share minimum information because they like to have a grip over it and say, well, I'm the boss, so do as I say. We've already talked about in past videos how that impacts teammates. And plus, you're not letting anybody get motivated or get to the point where they feel like they can lead or have an impact on what you're doing because you're not sharing the information so they can come up with the full picture. So that's one positive and a negative versus leadership action around information sharing. Number 2 is great leaders. Exceptional leaders use their power mindfully and vigilantly, which means they're assessing constantly, reassessing, trying to do things to help and take it from there. Their thought process around power specifically is to support their team and remove obstacles, not to diminish their team and micromanage. Poor leaders, on the other hand, that destroy teams, they use their power thoughtlessly, meaning they have favorites, they say things publicly that they shouldn't say, they use recency bias to grade a teammate versus the history that the teammates put in. When you lead a team, when you run teams, sooner or later, all of your teammates are going to go through significant personal issues. You yourself will go through personal issues when you're leading a team from time to time too. The expectation is you take care of your people when they need to be cared for, and you lead them through that just like you would lead them through the good times where they're really knocking it out. Okay. The third one is good leaders create conditions for motivation to flourish. Talked about that earlier about empowerment and engagement. If you share information, if you create conditions where teammates feel safe and appreciated, there will be plenty of motivation. Your teammates will flourish in that because they will be engaged. Bad bosses, on the other hand, people who destroy, they use pressure, fear, and hierarchy to motivate, meaning they work from a place that I'm the boss, I'm on high, you do what I say. The problem with that is they're micromanaging their teams. They're not creating an environment that's psychologically safe where people understand that we use reason to rule here. They're just a constant threat to their teams and their teammates, which is awful. The fourth example is good leaders are obsessed with results and performance, meaning you're constantly assessing and addressing what people are doing and sharing that feedback with them so they can get better. That's how you motivate. You're looking at everybody like they're a 10 and you're doing all you can to keep them there. So you're helping them remove obstacles and you're telling them, hey, this works, this is going well, so they can then replicate that and do that more. Bad bosses basically are myopically focused on results. So basically they don't assess, they don't address, they don't give feedback. They just focus on these results with no direction on what's coming. So they're not telling you to do anything to help you. They're not doing anything to cultivate you. They're not doing anything to turn failures into education so you can then create more wins. They're basically one point of view saying, this doesn't look right, you must fix it now, but aren't doing anything to help in that situation. Number 5, good leaders stamp on poor behavior, whatever the result. So basically, poor behavior equals a result. You assess that and address it. They don't put blame. They're not looking to find blame. They're putting it on the result and saying, all right, this is what we need to do to prevent this result again. Bad bosses tolerate poor result or poor behaviors if the result is okay. So that's what we're talking about. Good leaders like good behavior because that is the way that you should operate that produces good results often. Poor behavior, generates results. I often say, if you want to run off good teammates, let a bad one stay. Sometimes in sales, a bad employee with poor behavior will be allowed to stay because they can make their sales numbers. What they don't look at through those numbers is all the people that they alienate and they turn off and they run off that will never do business with us again because how they were handled by this person. So poor behavior is poor behavior. It has to be handled in a certain way. And then when you put your stamp on poor behavior, you show what the result is and you correct it. I always say what you don't address, you just approved. So that's how you fix that. That's how you put your stamp on it. You address it. You address the poor behavior no matter what the result is. That way you're getting results that should be within expectation. So that's the fifth mark of a good leader versus a bad boss. Number 6 is good leaders review wins and losses with equal passion and discipline. Wins and losses are all valuable. Losses teach you something. Wins teach you what you can replicate. You want to go into those things looking at both of them are positive, both of them are giving you information. You need to respond to that information. Bad bosses move on from wins and interrogate failures. Having a bad boss is exhaustive, and they will always do that. So they'll forget the 90% that went right so they can flog you and focus on the 10% that went wrong. The problem with that is while they're busy finding fault, you're not trying to actually make a difference and learn from the loss. So a failure is just a failure. You will never learn from it in that condition. Bad bosses are horribly destructive, and companies that maintain them deserve exactly what they get, because the way you run off good people is you keep that bad one. That's a fact. Now, number 7, the best thing good leaders deliver is they adjust the goals in any direction to ensure they are motivating. Meaning, if you have to break a goal down so it's more easily, steps of it are more easily ascertained so those can be set up as wins so you can drive some passion and drive some empowerment, then a good leader knows how to do that and consume that in small pieces so you can set up good wins, and you can then adjust goals that make sense based on what your current performance is. Bad bosses, people who destroy, once a goal is set, they only move goals to make them harder. So I've talked about it in videos before, how moving the goal post constantly destroys your team's mentality, destroys that basically that effort that is built to try to achieve a goal. When you constantly move the goalpost or you constantly stack on, people can do that for a while. But sooner or later, what you're going to do is you're going to burn everyone out. And your good people are going to leave because they want to be at a place where they can succeed. And succeeding at a place and winning, it only takes a little win at a time that you're celebrating to keep them motivated, keep them empowered, and keep them enthusiastic. Hopefully this video is of use to you. These are things that I'm very passionate about, as you can tell. I absolutely cannot stand bad bosses and how to destroy teams, destroy customers, and destroy businesses. I can't stand it. So hopefully this was useful. If you like the video, please like and please subscribe. Please share this channel with others. We are trying to grow it at the moment. I appreciate you. I'm Ben. Be good.